Hey guys, I'm back. Big Nick here, giving you my Backlash review. As I'm recording this as a Monday, so Backlash was yesterday. So just gonna get right into it. Any first notes on this show? Backlash really underperformed. In my opinion, I think many others' opinions, Backlash really underperformed. Two of the matches on there that I expected to be match of the weekend, possible match of the year candidates, as I said in my predictions. First one was very underwhelming, and the second one was a good match, but the ending was kind of. But I'll explain it all when I get to the match itself and the predictions. Okay, so let's just start off. First off, we're going to start off with the kickoff match, and that is the Perfect 10, Ty Dillinger versus Aiden English. It was an alright pre-show match. Kickoff, whatever they call it now. It was alright. The Perfect 10 got the victory, so congratulations Ty Dillinger, his first pay-per-view, even though it was a kickoff match, but still, pay-per-view win, especially in WWE nowadays when it's very hard to get on pay-per-views if you're not a certain wrestler. So yeah, it was an alright match. That's I believe the third time now that Dillinger has beaten English, and there goes English's push. Unless they're really waiting on it, I guess. Who knows? Okay, next off we have is the main card, and we're going to start off with the match that really underperformed in a match that surprised the hell out of me, that it was the first match of the night, and I guarantee many other people felt that way, and that is Dolph Ziggler versus Shinsuke Nakamura. It was a okay match. It wasn't the greatest thing ever, and it wasn't the worst thing ever. It's just, really the whole match was dominated by Ziggler. Nakamura really did, the match was about maybe 10-15 minutes long. Nakamura maybe did stuff for about 5 of the minutes. For me, it felt like they were saving him for something. Like maybe they were saving him for like a bigger match, or bigger match. Or they felt like Dolph's, even because they're both known for being great sellers. Ziggler's a great seller, and he really did sell that Kinshasa. Nakamura won, by the way. Really did sell that Kinshasa. I mean, damn. Probably the best part of the match was that Kinshasa that Ziggler really sold. It was as I said, an okay match. It was just a match that was there. It felt more of like a SmackDown match than a pay-per-view match. I really believe that they're saving Nakamura for something like maybe a bigger feud, because we know, as we all know, the people that watch NXT, watch the indies, and that know Nakamura, he's over regardless. But it's the fans that just watch Raw and SmackDown like either every week or every other week. They'll be like, oh, who this guy? Then they watch the pay-per-view and be like, oh, what kind of match was that? Yeah, so I have a feeling they may be saving him for a bigger, more important feud. I guess they felt like Ziggler wasn't important enough to have Nakamura go full out on, I'm guessing. Because Ziggler did the majority of the work. I mean, there was a beautiful drop kick given by Ziggler. Super kick to the back of the head. Nakamura doing knees on an apron. The apron. It's just that it felt really like they could have done a hell of a lot more, and they just felt like they weren't, like maybe Nakamura wasn't able to, or they didn't want him to. Or he just didn't. So, okay match. Nakamura got the win, so at least he got that in his first match. Maybe more and more on SmackDowns going on as he gets more matches, more pay-per-view matches. They'll let him do more as he starts going into bigger feuds and stuff. Maybe in WWE, maybe in the eyes of WWE, more important feuds with more important wrestlers, because you don't know how Ziggler's position in the company is. Yeah, so next we have is the first title match, and that is Breezango versus the Usos for the tag team titles. Usos won. It was how do I put this? Wasn't bad, it wasn't horrible. Wasn't good, wasn't great. Wasn't okay, wasn't bad. Well, I said bad. Wasn't okay, wasn't. It was pretty much a lot of comedic. The whole match was built on a comedic stick, which was pretty funny. I mean, you had Tyler Breeze come in disguised as the janitor with the little hat thing for baldness, the fake mustache, the mop, the overalls, whatever they were. Then he would rip that disguise off and come as dressed as a grandmother. The crowd was enjoying it. He got a mop over. The crowd was chanting for the mop. So, Usos won, as I said. It was just a funny match, I guess. I mean, that's what took away from the match, was it was pure comedic stuff going on. But that's what Breezango is getting over, with the comedic crap, the little Law and Order fake shit. So yeah, I I liked it. It was funny. It wasn't fun. Like, the match wasn't fun. Probably one of the funniest part I thought was Tyler Breeze kept rolling away every time one of the Usos would go up for the splash, and he had to keep going to the other side, back and forth, back and forth. I thought that was funny. Best part probably of the pay-per-view was when the Uso ripped off the dress that Breeze was wearing when he was the grandmother, threw it, and it smacked Bradshaw right in the top of the head. I got the whole crowd cheering. I mean, that was probably the biggest pop of the night. So yeah, it's all funny match. Kind of felt right for the pay-per-view. Usos win. They're still tag team champs. They're probably the best team in WWE today besides the Hardys. So yeah. Next up we have is Sami Zayn versus Baron Corbin. This is a good match. Kind of what I expected for it. A good match. Sami Zayn got the win clean. No Baron Corbin shenanigans, which is surprising. Because Baron Corbin's even done that with Ambrose and stuff. Everybody he's pretty much gone up against, he's done shenanigans against, but not Sami. So Sami got a pay-per-view win, which I believe is his first since Battleground last year. Please correct me if I'm wrong. I believe it's Battleground, because every other pay-per-view I believe he's been involved, he's lost. So yeah, good match. Zayn gets the win. Kind of surprising win, because kind of a quick win too, because I kind of turned my head for a second, and then the match was already. I was like, what the fuck happened? I was like, what the hell just happened? So I heard Haluva kick and then 3. I was like, excuse me? So turned my head for 1 split second, and then the match ended. That was kind of like an abrupt ending in a way. So yeah. Next up we have is the 6-woman tag team match, where what do they call the welcoming committee, Natalya, Carmella, and Tamina with Ellsworth versus the faces, Becky, women's champ Naomi, and Charlotte. Match for me, the heels got the win. Becky tapped out to the sharpshooter. Why do they constantly have Becky take these falls? Becky, who is over as hell, the first SmackDown Women's Champion, yet she loses a lot more than she's wins. It happened when she was this Women's Champion. It's happened ever since she lost the title. I guess they're not fully behind Becky. Charlotte didn't, and no, Charlotte and Natalya was the one had her in the sharpshooter. That's how she submitted. Kind of figured. So Carmella and Tamina get a pay-per-view win along with Natalya, who I think hasn't had pay-per-view win in a while. You know, she's been on more pay-per-views than I think the entire SmackDown roster except Charlotte. So it was a match, what I expected it to be. Worst match of the night. Even worse than the pre-show match, which was just maybe about a 7-minute match. So yeah, the heels won. Next up we have is the United States title match. Kevin Owens got the win by countout. That's where the issue comes in, and I'm not the only one can see it. The match was good. It was a good match. Kind of what you least expected from this match between the two of them. A good match. From those two, you expect a great match. You expect a wrestling classic. You expect something like what happened at TakeOver with Tyler Bate and Pete Dunne. It was kind of looked like it maybe would get to that level, but it's the ending. Kevin Owens messed around with the announce table. AJ was on top of the announce table. Looked like he was probably going to do the phenomenal forearm. He falls through it. He had a leg injury, which he was selling the entire match. He falls through that little whole thing. You will remember it from that little whole thing announced they were from 2011 when Orton had a match with Kane. Orton had fell through it, and then just jumped up, feigning like he didn't have an injury, and then would win that match because then after that match, Mark Henry would come take out Kane. Pretty much Randy Orton went to SmackDown, won the world title during his little world title run in 2011, leading up to his feud with Christian, which I kind of like that run with Orton. So yeah, AJ falls to the same hole, gets his foot stuck in all the wire, and he's trying to come out. The referee's already at kind of like 6 or 7, and he has his foot, the injured leg all tangled in the wire and couldn't get free. Owen had ran back through, so Owens wins via pinfall count out. Which I see why it protects both of them. Like, you don't have Owens taking a cheap loss. He got a cheap win, but that's kind of how Owens' Universal title reign was portrayed. He got a lot of cheap wins. And AJ doesn't lose by pinfall or tapping out, which is good because he kind of has been on a kind of a losing streak. Been taking a lot of falls lately to Mahal. And I can't remember anyone else. But I know he's taken some losses lately. So, yeah, it's a good thing that they didn't do it, but it's kind of upsetting because you're like, yo, what the come on, man. Arguably probably the two best wrestlers on SmackDown. AJ, the top face, and Kevin Owens, one of the top heels, but it looks like he may not be portrayed that way because of the main event. Which I'll get to in a minute, which is the second to last match, which is after it, 2 matches away. But it pissed me off because, as I said, I'm an AJ Styles fan. He's probably my favorite wrestler in the company as of now. My favorite wrestler currently active because Undertaker is now officially retired. I'm okay. So it gives AJ a good reason to have his rematch, which he'll probably tomorrow go on SmackDown and say, "Hey, you ain't pinned me. You had a cheap win," and Owens is probably gonna brag like, "I beat AJ Styles," and you know the hell that. So yeah, that was that. Next up we have is Luke Harper versus Eric Rowan. Harper got the win. All right, match really. I really didn't pay attention to it because it was just there. Good thing Harper got the win. Yeah. Harper, we all know Harper can do better than being in a match with Eric Rowan. To me, they really don't work together going against each other. It would have worked in 2014, but I don't think it's going to work now. Because Eric Rowan has become so irrelevant, and Harper has the potential of possibly being a mid. Because you know how Kevin Owens is doing this whole Face of America thing. You built Luke Harper up to a point where if AJ doesn't take the title from him, you can have Luke Harper be that American face to be the one to take the title from Owens. Probably could happen because really, you look at SmackDown, they don't really have that they don't have that many American faces. The faces are besides AJ and Orton, but they're at the top of the card. You look at the mid scene, you got Sammy, Canadian. Jericho when he comes back, Canadian. Ty Dillinger, I believe, is Canadian. Dolph Ziggler, but he's a heel. Corbin, heel. Who else? Then you got Rowan, heel. Then you got Harper. Sin Cara, face, but he's Mexican. So Harper, really, the only American face that could possibly be involved, because they really sent the faces over, like Ambrose and The Miz. But Miz was more of a heel, but he's over. But, So, yeah, that's something that could work out there for Harper, maybe down the line after the whole AJ and Owens feud is done, because I have a feeling they're probably going to have a match at a SmackDown, because I don't expect them, if you recall, Money in the Bank is supposed to be a SmackDown exclusive pay-per-view, so odds are you'd see Owens and AJ involved in the ladder match, because for SmackDown you need the top guys to be involved in the ladder match, so that takes kind of a match away from SmackDown when you could do with the US title, so they're going to be involved in that match, it's quite obvious, but yeah. So maybe we'd see like a number one contendership battle for the title, maybe involving Harper in a way, but I don't think so. Hope maybe Rowan just disappears. Maybe they push him. Like, I don't know. They've been pushing the wrong people on SmackDown. Next match. Okay, so let's go for it. Main event time. Jinder Mahal versus Randy Orton for the WWE title. It was an okay main event. Definitely not one of the best main events. Definitely probably the worst in terms of quality compared to the other main events of pay-per-views in this year. Well, besides Goldberg and Owens, but we all know it's going to be a squash. We have a new WWE champion, and his name is Jinder Mahal. Yes, you heard me correctly. Jinder Mahal is the WWE champion. He's held the belt before former 3MB member Drew McIntyre. He's held it before Kevin Owens, Sami Zayn. Hell, he's even held it before many iconic legends like Roddy Piper and Rick Rude. Chicago was clearly behind him for some reason. I guess some people are getting behind him, but I'm one of the people who was hell no, I don't want Mahal as the champion. He was a jobber when he came back last year with Heath Slater. He actually pinned Slater on Raw, which many people forget when they say this is when he got like a win on SmackDown against, I think, Sammy or someone, where they say this is his first televised match and win match. He technically beat Heath Slater last year to get the contract at Raw, but he was either put in the background, never really used, and then when he was put at Rusev, he constantly took the losing fall, the way of protecting Rusev, but he always took the losing fall. He was jobbing out to Sammy, he was jobbing out to everyone. Hell, the week before he was getting his push, he jobbed out to Mojo Rawley, the winner of the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal, who has kind of not been in effect on SmackDown since the Superstar Shakeup. Yes, he lost to Mojo. Now I'm waiting for Mojo Rawley to be like, "Hey, I beat you, man. I'm hype. I could beat you again, hype. And I could be the WWE champion, hype. Because why? I ain't hype. I stay hype. And you ain't hype. Hype. Please, no. I did read something online yesterday, like before the pay-per-view, that WWE was going to put the title on Mahal to be as kind of a test run to see what happens. Where, well, and so we know we pretty much have till the next SmackDown pay-per-view, which is supposed to be in July, right? So that's supposed to be Money in the Bank. Well, SmackDown's screwed. I mean, I'm not wishing anything bad on SmackDown. It's just, it's screwed. Because you have two of the best wrestlers on the roster involved in the mid-card scene. I understand trying to make the U.S. title mean something like you did with the Intercontinental title last year, but it's just not going to work with Mahal. No one like that. There's some people behind him, but the majority of people are not behind him. I'm one of them. I do not see Jinder Mahal as a WWE champion. I never will. I see maybe as a possible this little anti-American gimmick would work better with the U.S. title that Owens is doing, where he's the new face of America and how Canada's better than America. It would work better with the U.S. title and having someone like Harper or maybe even another face, a face that's not American, take it from like, hey, I love America. And it's not going to work. It could work. I mean, it's not. I'm not wishing bad things on the man for being champion. I don't want him. He was a jobber. He jobbed out to Mojo Rawley the week before, this week of the Superstar Shakeup. He had just jobbed out to Mojo. And then after that week, he beats Sammy. He wins the Fatal 5-Way. He's having all these little heroes. He steals the title from Orton. And the hilarious thing with him holding the belt up in the sunroof of his limo Hummer thingy. Which was funny. I like that. That was funny. That's what it is. It's just funny. People care because it's funny. It's not because it's like it means something. The title that has the lineage of San Martino, Hogan, Flair, Hart, Michaels, Taker, Austin, Rock, Cena, Triple H, Punk, Bryan, Rollins, AJ, Lesnar, Angle. Anyone I'm missing? Eddie. It just doesn't mean that much with him holding it. The title's not going to be seen as a joke. Many people are going to see it as a joke, and maybe it's a good thing for the U.S. title. People are going to pay more attention to that belt, but it's not. It makes the WWE title feel less like, oh, look at all those legends who held it. Let me see it. Oh, Mahal. Who the hell is a Jinder Mahal? That dude from 3MB was clearly the worst part of 3MB because McIntyre went on to have amounts of success when it broke up, and has come back and is clearly being built as probably the next big face, the big face for NXT. Heath Slater, who managed somehow to get over, he won the SmackDown. He's a 4-time tag team champion. And McIntyre was an Intercontinental tag team. He's won world titles all over the frickin' world in TNA. He was the grand champion. I think the second grand champion, or second or third. I don't remember. I haven't really paid attention over there. He's won titles. He won, I believe. I think he was the PCP. WCPW champion. That's what it was, not PCP. Wow. WCPW. Wow. Champion. I think he was the Evolve champion. I think it was the longest reigning Evolve champion or something like that. Other titles. And Mahal, what did he do when he left? And came back. What did he do up until the past month? I mean, the thing they did at the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal would have been weird. If he won the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal, I don't think no one would have cared. That maybe that would have been the initial build-up, but no. He got beat by Rob Gronkowski. And then would lose 2 more matches after that, and then would somehow get involved in the title picture. So I understand WWE's doing this to try to reach out to the Indian market, which TNA has tried to do over the years, and it looks like it may be a very lucrative market, but you got to remember, there's people that don't. I know you're trying to do it for one market, but what's going to happen to your other markets? Many people see this as just like, oh, well, time for me to turn the other cheek. Or not, or like when Mahal comes on SmackDown, it's just, oops, change channel. I mean, with the NBA playoffs going on, SmackDown's probably screwed now, bigger. So people be like, oh, Mahal's on TV. Let's go see what LeBron's doing or what Steph's doing. It's not gonna work. I'm sorry. I went on a mini rant. So yeah, Backlash was an underwhelming show especially compared to NXT, which really happens a lot. Where NXT gives a phenomenal show, no pun intended, gives off a phenomenal show, and then the next pay-per-view either does an okay, good job, or just underwhelms. As I said, 2 matches that really underperformed. Well, one could have been a hell of a lot better. Just the ending kind of fucked with it. Still a good match, but... And then, of course, Nakamura's win. Not really the most extravagant win ever, but maybe I just feel like maybe they didn't want to have him go all out in a match with Ziggler. Maybe they feel like well, at least the first match with Ziggler, maybe they push it back a little more to the next to last match in the feud, or the last match in the feud is what I mean. Either way, Backlash is probably going to be one of the worst pay-per-views of the year with Fastlane and the Rumble. Even though the Rumble wasn't horrible, it's just the Rumble match itself kind of ruined the whole pay-per-view. So, yep. Thank you guys for watching. Rant's over. Thank you guys for watching. I will see you guys again. And, note, next month, I'm going to have a Blu-ray DVD collection update, so look out for that. And possibly down the line in the summer, I'm going to have a full collection overview of my Blu-rays, as you can see, like a faint thing of them here, and my Blu-rays and my movies and TV shows, Blu-ray/DVD, because I have many TV shows on DVD, and my wrestling DVDs. So, thank you guys. So yeah, keep an eye out for that, and I will see you guys again.